But anyway, let's keep on Love Bites. But you guys go ahead and talk about it. I know you guys loved it, so I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts.
Who wants to go first?
Why don't you go, Ryan?
Yeah.
I just checked it out before about a half hour or so before we went live, and because I wanted to see it before we talked about it today, because I knew we would be, and I was pleasantly surprised, man. I loved it. Just the whole different approach to the intro. Asami's vocals are a little different, a little grit in there. It was cool seeing them just kind of have fun, kind of cut loose, which I'm not like a deep diver on their music, so what I've seen is I wouldn't say too limited. I've listened to a lot, but I haven't like cataloged a lot in my brain what they've done. So to me, it sounded different, and it was cool seeing them in a studio setting and just having them kind of goofing around, switching instruments and stuff, having fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Being a little more animated, I really liked it.
Yeah, you're right. The opening bass line was good. That's why I was expecting something else, I think, when that was driving in. By the way, Ellen Talks BS, they put all 10 songs. If you didn't hear me when I said they released the 2 songs before they put out the full album. That was after the fact. There was only 3 songs on the playlist. It was like a Wednesday, I believe. I can't remember when.
Yeah, I think they did the YouTube stuff after, because as soon as they dropped Stand and Deliver, I saw the whole album on Spotify already.
Oh, on Spotify?
So I think they might have released them
Whatever,
separately.
dude. He's not trying to mislead anybody.
Yeah. I was like,
No. I'm just trying to clarify. I think they probably released them at different times on different platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Wave?
Well, I actually really liked the sound and the music video for sorry, I just drank coffee. Because it was different than anything I've seen from Love Bites before. And I wonder, I understand what Alan's saying, if he's expecting like more like the classic Love Bites sound and he's more familiar with their older stuff, how maybe this would be just a really jarring change of pace. Sorry about that. Okay, I think we're good now. But I really liked it because what Ryan was saying, in the video, you saw them goofing off. You saw a lot of their personality. You saw this new, more laid back than I've ever seen from Love Bites before. Usually I'd think of Love Bites as like really serious and regal and just focused doing their stuff. But like, I feel like adding Fami into the mix has given them this new, more casual energy that I haven't seen from Love Bites before. Like, they were goofing around in their music videos, switching around instruments and stuff, and you could tell they were having a blast. And
Yeah, man.
I don't know, that just really stood out to me more than anything I've ever heard from Love Bites before. So I was totally like, I went to the next level with Love Bites in my appreciation and excitement to hear more of what they do.
Yeah. This is one of the instances where seeing the video may help, the way you see some of the music. It's been that way for me sometimes when when you hear a song and you relate to the video. What a lot of us do that with live music by bands we love. You see the live thing, it's like, oh, I like the live version of this. So when you hear it, you think of that live version. And this the song itself, I don't know if it'd have been any different if I heard it without the video, but the video definitely colored my overall opinion of it.
I was just about to say, them having fun was one of the comments I made at the end of the reaction. I was like, the cool thing was to see them having fun, for sure. Because you're right, you don't see that. The other ones are very serious starting off. It's interesting that, too, these past 2 music videos, they both start with bass leading it off, which is really cool that they're choosing songs to like highlight Fami right away, which is awesome. Yeah. Awesome thing to do.
Maybe she took over and she's making them, no, I will lead every song.
Yeah.
She just took over the band and she's in charge now.
Did you guys think, like, when I heard Fami playing bass, it felt like in the style of Miho to me? It didn't, I didn't hear much of her style resonate through, but maybe I need to hear it again. Sorry, I just saw something fly.
I think you need to hear it again anyway.
Yeah.
You're grumpy. You didn't hear the song as good as it could have been. You need to give another listen when you're in a better mood.
You need to go to Florida and listen to it.
Yeah.
Though, like, even the beginning part with the bass intro, like, I don't really recall Love Bites their bass being that distorted ever. Like I can't really think of a song where they would start off like it sounded like an electric guitar, man. Like it was as distorted as a bass gets. And I kind of love that. That gave me like a different vibe right off the bat with Love Bites, you know?
Yeah.
But also like they went into this sort of like chant vocals during the verse, which then went from the chant vocals into her like more raspy tone that Ryan was bringing up before. And I kind of just loved that alone too, because that was thrash, bro. That was like, to me, this song, like I heard like elements of Judas Priest or like Iron Maiden, like Alan was mentioning earlier, but like
Fucking
for
Motorhead.
the most part,
Old
people were saying
Metallica.
Motorhead. I wish I brought that up, but I was just thinking thrash in general. Like I said, Testament in my reaction, you know, like Whiplash, you know, like I just like the riff that they were playing, you know, just during the verse was such like a speed metal, thrash metal type of riff that I was just like, I was so into it just from that alone.
It reminds me of one of the Metallica Garage Days songs. It
does.
What, can't remember which song that is, but
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude, that song was great, man. I dug it.
and I
And
also
think
felt
about-
like sorry, I just the power metal stuff, like I like them better when they're doing a little less of it, and I felt like this was, you know, more geared towards just like metal as a whole, less power metal.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It had like a classic rock element to it too. Like some of the leads Miyako was doing in the beginning had like those bluesy dyad bends.
Yeah, dude, the
The
lead.
main riff of the
after-
song.
Yeah, right after Midori's doing these like huge dive bomb squeals.
That was like a whole solo of that. It was great. What a freaking cool song. Shut up, Alan.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
I
too.
don't think so.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm like, I guess. I don't know. It was like really, it was weird to me. Like the quality of the recording
That's okay.
too. Like I was like, this is the different. Like, but honestly, I think it's on purpose because most of the songs are sounding really raw, and that's really cool that they're doing that. Not a lot of bands can get away with, like, you know, having a lot less of effects on their instruments and stuff. It's just not my thing. I don't know. I've never been a huge Love Bites fan either. I'm always hit and miss with them. Like their first song that they released, I love it. I love Dissonance. And the other one that somebody just mentioned, I can't remember. So there's songs I like. This one just wasn't for me.
Cool.
I will say structurally, I thought it was on the more simple side of what some of their other songs do. Like it was pretty much like, you know, here's intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then repeat, solo, and then repeat again, right? So structurally, if you're looking for something like out of the norm or breaking the mold, you're not going to find it in that song. I just like the vibe of, again, like we were talking about this Patreon, I just like the vibe of this song. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like the stuff that I used to listen to when I was in high school, checking out, you know, for the first time, checking out that 80s kind of metal stuff that I had never heard before because I was born in 1985 and I was only 0 years old when some of that stuff was released. And this kind of brought me back to those high school days when I was finally like really exploring and finding those older bands. And I really thought, like, especially as soon as the gang vocals came up right in the beginning and all 4 of them or all 5 of them were doing it, I was just like, damn, dude, this has got 80s thrash written all over.
Yeah, that was fun. I just want to say, like, don't get upset with Alan either if you really disagree with him, because, you know, he's a guy that he's honest about his opinion. He says what he feels at the time. And a lot of times we've seen him change his mind on music, you know? Like,
I've done
just
it.
revisiting it.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah,
Very
we've
true.
all done that. Sometimes
Make
just
excuses
like
for
our
it.
listening conditions and just the first impressions affect it, but
Yeah.
don't give up. Not as tough as Champ with the
Don't make excuses.
chemical
for it.
reaction.
Thanks, Wade. It's okay. Some people are just gonna like whatever they put out, and that's cool. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I can't just.
I'm
be
definitely like that with some bands now, you know,
Yeah.
just because I love them as people. But
Some bands, quote unquote, he says.
some band.
We all know who you're talking about, dude.
Sounds like I learned this like
you don't have
every
to hide it.
For more Gaijin goodies like you just saw, be sure to subscribe to the Gaijin Guys podcast and turn on all notifications to be part of the live stream every Sunday. You can also find us wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, etc. You can find even more exclusive content and reactions on our Patreon, patreon.com/Gaijin Guys. I'll see you there. Adios.